Our next topic is animation inside Cinema 4D. Here we're going to learn about how can we animate in a particular object, how can we modify that animation keys or keyframes by using different kind of tools, and how can we improve our animation quality inside Cinema 4D by different options. So let's start with the animation part of a Cinema 4D. Before starting to animate any object inside Cinema 4D, first check the settings or project setting. First check the project setting by pressing Ctrl D to access the project option, or click on this mode option and click on this project over here to access the project setting. If you are in a different settings, press Ctrl D to directly jump into the project setting. Inside project setting, you can see the first option is a FPS. FPS stand for frame per second. How many frames will play on particular second or in 1 second is decided by this parameter. Is depend on your output, like if you want to render to the NTSC or PAL format or any different kind of format, that time you can set your FPS according to that output. So I think 30 is okay to me. The next thing is that project time is showing me the current timing of my timeline. If I drag it over here, you can see it's changing according to that. If I am click on, okay, I am on 60 number frame, it's showing me 60. You can directly type over here where you want to jump from this 60 number frame. I just click type 25 over here, and you can see it's directly jumped to the 25th frame of this timeline. You can change that from this box to, or you can drag this like this to access the particular frame. The next thing is a minimum time. Our minimum time is 0 and maximum time is 90. That means we are working on 0 to 90 frame. If I want to change it, like I want to render around 200 frames, so I just change this maximum time to 200, and you see now my maximum time is 200. You can change this from here or from this parameter over here. Fine. The next thing in this is preview minimum time. Right now we're seeing only 0 to 90 frame. This is my preview time. You can set that by using this preview minimum time and maximum time, preview maximum time. I want to see only 50 frames, or I just want to preview from frame number 20 to 90. So you can see my starting frame is 20 now and my ending frame is 90. This way you can adjust the preview timing, or you can click over here on this small triangle over here, white triangle, and you can drag it to set your preview time directly by using this slider option. This you can manage the our timeline over here. These are basic setting available for project setting. Next important setting inside project setting for the animation is key interpolation. This will decide, like whenever you create a keyframe inside Cinema 4D, how it will flow, like in a spline or in linear manner or in a step manner. I show you the difference between these three in after some part. While I teach you about the F curve, I show you the interpolation options, but you can change it by using this option. So it will applicable for each and every keyframe whatever you create in future inside Cinema 4D. So this is a very important setting to learn it. Let's learn about the playback control over here. You can see we have around 200 frame space over here to animate our object. You can change it according to like project settings. You can change it in the inside project setting, or you can click it over here to change it, that according to your animation output. The next thing is that is go to start. If you middle of the your playback control is middle of the timeline, you can directly jump to the first frame, or you can jump to the last frame by clicking on this object, go to end. This way you can jump first frame or last frame of your timeline. The next thing is go previous key. Okay, if you create a keyframes, okay, you can directly jump keyframe to keyframe by using these two options, go to previous key or go to next key. And if you want to navigate frame by frame, that time you can use this small key. The shortcut is a G. to jump next frame or jump to the previous frame. F and G. So you can access F and G to check out your animation frame by frame. Here the next things are for keyframing. I show you how to use this in just a minute, and which property you are going to animate. Like if you want to animate only position of the object, that time you just off this scale rotation option, and now you are going to animate only the, or you can off this parameter option too if you want. It depend on you. If you want to animate only position, that time you can just keep it this option on, or you can keep for scale, you can keep this on for rotation, or for the other parameters you can click on this for the parameter. This is for point level animation, means if you want to animate any vertex or edges, that time you can go with this option, but right now I keep it off. That's okay to me. And next thing is like your playback control. Right now it's like a project, like it's running on 30 fps right now. If I play it, go to first frame and play, see it's going very slowly or smoothly. But if I want to change this playback speed, it's only playback speed, it's not for rendering. So I can click over here and I go with like 5 frame. Now it's running in a 5 fps. So I just played, you can see it's running very slow. If you want to fasten this animation, you want to check this animation or whatever you created animation in a faster or little bit pace, you can change it over here around 250. And when I click play, you can see it's running very fast like this. I change it to 500 and see this way. So these are different control available. I click on the project to jump to the default or project setting, and I play it to check it out. Yeah, it's going okay. Fine. This way you can adjust the parameter over here on timeline control or playback control. Now let's check out how can we animate object by using a different kind of technique. First I create a basic object. I go with the sphere and to animate that from this point to this point. Very easy animation. Okay. First thing, either you go with the keyframing like a record active object, or you can set your keyframe on current position. I click on it, so it will create a keyframe over here on a frame 0. I click it, I just drag it around this. Yeah, that's okay. You can see the keyframe over here. This is a keyframe. Fine. I drag my playback control or playback slider or playback head on frame number 30, and I move it this sphere from this point to that point. So you can see my keyframe over here. Okay. Now to set the keyframe for that position too, so I again click on this set key option or record key option. You can see the motion path over here. This small line is called motion path. I play it back. You can see very easily we create an animation by using this playback record active object or set key. This we can do the a basic animation. Again, if I go in middle of it and drag this sphere up, you can see it's moving up, but playback motion control or motion path is still on the z-axis, not in a y-axis. So again I click over here on this 15 and I click on this keyframe. Shortcut is F9, and it's create another keyframe for us like this. When I play it, you can see the sphere is moving like this. This way we can easily create a keyframe by using this set key option. Now if I want to delete these keyframes, very simple. I just click and drag all that keyframe. I select that keyframe. You can see it showing in yellow over here, and press delete to delete this keyframes. But before that, you can see there's a keyframe property or key properties over here. Key timing. If I select particular key, okay, it's showing the keyframe time or key time is around 29 frame. Yeah, it's showing the keyframe timing, keyframe value. Okay, I change the multiple values. That's why it's showing the multiple. And interpolation, like a smoothness of this keyframe is in spline. I can keep it as linear or a step. The same option available in project setting. We will learn about this in FCurve. Auto tangent, it will automatically add the tangent. Okay, lock time, lock value, you can lock the timing. You don't want to animate that or something like that, you can don't want to modify that, that time you can lock these. So these are keyframe properties over here. Then these are different kind of keyframe properties. I click over here on the object. I want to delete these keyframes, so I just select them, but by dragging mouse on that keyframe and then press delete to delete that. This way very easily you can delete the keyframes. Now there's no animation for this object because we don't have any keyframes on that object. This way you can add or remove keyframe in very easy manner. Next option is auto key option. If you want to, if you think this clicking each and every time clicking on this set key option is a little bit irritating to you, that time you can use this auto key option to automatically create or set keyframes for you by Cinema 4D. So at the first frame, I keep my object over here. I click on this auto key option. You can see this red border over here. That means whatever I do after this is get recorded by this auto key option. So at first 0 frame is okay. I jump to the frame number 20 or yeah, and I move this from point 1 to point 2. Okay, you can see it's automatically create the keyframe. But yeah, for the first position I have to set my keyframe like this, or you can use the set key to set a first keyframe. Then after all the keyframe will automatically create by using this auto key option. So this way you can create keyframes by using auto key. You can move anywhere and you can see it's automatically add the key like this, like this. Yeah, this thing called animation path or motion path. If you don't like to see that, that time you can hide that option. Go to mode, view setting, and here's the option called animation path. Just remove this tick mark and you can see my animation is still there, but I can't see motion path. So you can on and off this motion path option by using viewport options. When you done with your keyframing, just off this auto key option. So we're not going to create any more keyframe accidentally. So I just off this, and now I can play it to check out the quality of my animation. This way you can use auto key to create keyframe instantly. Another way to animate any object is by using a attribute manager. So here I am inside attribute manager. Inside this spheres properties, inside coordinate options, you can see this small dot over here. It is again an animation property. Wherever you see this dot or circles or radio buttons, that property can be animatable. So right now you can see the position property over here. If I move this, you can see it's moving that object or changing the position of that object in a x direction. I right click it to make it 0. Okay, now to animate this x property, either I right click on this radio button or on this P or anywhere, and inside animation I can add a keyframe on this particular location or position at frame number 0. You can see it's animating the whole property x, y and z. Then I move to frame number anywhere, I go to 30 and I change the property of this x value or y value or z value. Whatever property you want to change, you can directly change it, or you can directly use these arrow keys to move these properties. And again I have to click on P animation, add keyframe. So you can see it's showing me the motion path over here, and we can animate this property like this. Here I click and drag it up, but you can't see the animation path here because we not keep this auto key option on. But here we can use the shortcut control and click. Control click to create keyframe for this property, for this position, and you can see this we can create a keyframe just clicking on this property like this. Control and click on that particular property to create keyframe on the particular keyframe frame. This way we can use these properties to animate our object. Now if I want to remove the all keyframes from this position property, I simply press Ctrl Shift and click on this any button, and you can see it's remove the all keyframes from this sphere. This we can remove the keyframes from any object by using the shortcut keys. Now if you don't want to remove the all keyframes, only particular keyframe, either you can click and delete that, that's another way to remove this keyframe, or you can just press Shift and click on any of these button to remove the particular keyframe. I want to remove the 30, yeah, and I click over here by pressing Shift and click, and you can see the 30 number keyframe is removed from the all keyframes. Same way I want to remove this 46 number keyframe. I press Shift and click on this radio button to remove this keyframe. So this way you can modify the keyframe property by using the attribute manager. To explain you timeline properties inside Cinema 4D, first I create a basic animation by using a basic primitives sphere. I just move it up over here, and I keep this auto key option on. I set my first keyframe. Then around frame number 20, I'm just doing a very basic animation like this. You can see it's create an animation over here. Okay, it's good, fine. Then after around frame number 35, yeah, I drag it up again, and around frame number 50, I drag it down. If you want to copy a keyframe, anytime you can copy a keyframe. See, right now location of frame number 20 and frame number 50 is not matching, so easily I can copy paste a keyframe. So I simply select this 20 number keyframe and press Ctrl to create a copy of that keyframe, and I keep that on frame number 50. So location of 20 and 50 is same now. Okay, but I want to move it in a I want to move it that like this. Okay, that's fine. This way we can copy and paste a keyframe. I just move it up again for one more time like this, and down. You can copy and paste keyframe again, but I think, yeah, anytime you can select and move it like this. If you want to change the height of it, yeah, very easily you can do that. This way you can modify your keyframes. If you want to create a new keyframe in between, either you are in auto key mode, you can directly create a new keyframe. That's a easy way. Or if you're not using auto key mode, that time you can press Ctrl and click over here on this timeline to add new keyframe, and then after you can move it according to your animation need. So I just undo that. This is another way to add a keyframe inside Cinema 4D. So I just create a small animation over here, and to make some changes in it, and to make it smooth or something like that, so that time I use a different, yeah, that's okay, fine. So I right click over here and I can access the option called show track. This is normally used something like a exposure sheet for animation, or if you user of a different 3D software like a 3ds Max, it look like something a dope sheet like a 3ds Max. So here you can see the keyframes over here for different properties, positions X, position Y, position Z. Again for scale, okay, we just change the position, not the scale properties. So we can see the just we can see only one keyframe over here, but not see other keyframe because we not change any property of the scale and a rotation. That's why you can only see the position keyframe. You can select the keyframes, and if you want to move them, you can move it like this. See, now the keyframe on frame number is around 12. Yeah, if you want to move that, I just move it over here. I want to keep it on frame number 22. See, like this you can modify the keyframes. I keep it on 20. So you can adjust the keyframe by using this option, timeline option. We call this a key mode, or some people, those who use different 3D software, they can call this as a dope sheet or use that as a dope sheet. The next thing in this is called F-curve mode. F-curve mode is very important for us because by using F-curve we can smoothen our keyframe, we can create different kind of effect by using the F-curve. And the motion mode is normally to use a motion mixture, like you can create animation, and if you want to mix 2 or 3 animation on one object or something like that, that time you can use this motion mode to import some already pre-created animations or some different kind of stuff. But I like to work with the F-curve, so I just show you how can we use F-curve to create or modify our animation inside Cinema 4D. Here you can see the F-curve property. Anytime you can press spacebar to jump from this key mode to F-curve property easily, or you can click over here on the small icons to jump in different kind of modes. F-curve, that's okay. I want to see the property over here. You can see this is a property of Z, this is a property of Y, and the property of X. If you want to see the all properties or all keyframes at a time, you can go inside F-curve and click on this show all track option. You can see now I can see the property of X, Y, and Z position at a time. And here you can see the straight line. These are property of scale and rotation values, but right now it's okay. I can keep the option off for a while because I don't want to get confused by seeing the lots of properties. I just want to see particular properties. I just click on this show all track, keep off this show all track option. Yeah, and I click on this Y properties. Now you can see the curve over here is same like this curve. Okay, when I click over here you can see these handles, and when I modify that you can see the modification is on viewport 2 like this. This is spline option. When you right click it, and if you want to break this, here is the option called linear. So you can see it's a linear manner in a straight line, what you learn at a starting point of this lesson in project setting. Or you can keep this as a step, so it's look like a step. If you want to apply this effect on different keyframes, so just select them like this, right click it and keep it there as a step. So when you play this, I just play this animation. Yeah, now you can see it's like a jumping like this. Yeah, so this is we can change the property of this animation. I just select them all again, right click, and I keep it that as a spline. Again in spline they give different type of spline type over here. Right click spline type, soft, easy in, ease out, easy ease, or different kind of things are there. I just keep it there as a soft, or I can select them and right click it, spline type, I keep it as a easy ease. Okay, it looks same. So just right click, spline type. Okay, my mistake. So if you want to change the spline option, select them. There are different kind of spline types over there. You can use that. I keep it that as a step. Select, right click, spline option, easy. See, something like this. So you can do that all things by using this spline option. I keep that as a soft. Yeah. So this way you can manage the spline property here. If you want to add a new keyframe inside F curve, the same technique is there. Just press Ctrl and click on this line. You can see you are adding a new keyframe over here. You can change the property of it, and whenever you see this, it's changing the animation path or motion path inside view. Just press Ctrl and click to add new keyframes. If you want to modify, I just undo this. Now you can see, or I can click over here, handles. When I modify one side of this handle, other side get modified. So for that I right click it and I just break this line, break this tangent. So whenever I move one point or one handle, you can see it's moving only one side of that spline, not the other side. This is another very good way to change the animation speed or something like that. I select this, right click it, and I make it at a tangent again. So you can see it's works same like a previous settings. There are different type of settings available for the handles or for tangent. To check out the all things. Now from here I show you how can we use a snapshot feature inside F curve to control my or to improve my animation. So I go inside snapshot F curve option, and I click on this make snapshot. Snapshot is something like whatever I create over here, whatever animation I created over here, it's keep a record of it, and whenever I modify I can compare my previous modification and new modification, and I will judge the which is the better one and I will go with it. So F curve make snapshot, I just create a snapshot over here. To view that snapshot you can click and see I already created a snapshot over here. Now I go and click the view snapshot and I change this point. You can see in behind of that you can see my old snapshot or old curve like this. Okay, if you think this is not creating very good animation, my new curve, so you can jump back to previous one. Just click on this F curve and swap snapshot, so you jump back to the previous one. This way you can create a different kind of snapshot, or you can create 5 snapshot at a time, and you can compare 5 different way of animation and choose the better one or best one for your output. This way you can modify spline inside F curve.